whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing a game called Slay the Princess. Now, this game's been out a while. I've never played it myself, but I know it has recently had a pretty big update and it's always caught my eye. So I thought I'd check it out now that there's an update out. So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy it, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing, as it really is the best way to help my channel. What the? Okay. Was not expecting that. Let's see what this has in store for us. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so it looks like we've got multiple options before we have to go and do stuff. Before I jump into this, a little tidbit for you guys. The guy that narrates this, Johnny Sims, is the creator. Okay, he's the reason I'm into horror. He created a podcast called The Magnus Archives, and I love that so much that I have a tattoo based on the Magnus Archives. Based loosely, I will say loosely based on the Magnus Archives, which I may potentially put up a picture of that while I'm editing this video, depending on how I feel. But he's the reason that I'm doing this. Well, one of the reasons. There's definitely a huge reason that I'm such a fan of horror. So let's see. The end of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Okay, so we have to kill a princess. That doesn't sound too bad. But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Okay. Who's we all? Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Well, see, I don't know why I'm on the path. This is a very... I don't know if I trust the narrator, to be completely honest with you. Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Okay.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched.
This game is already super deep. I really like it.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Killing a princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress.
If she's a princess,
Seamstresses contribute
then
something of
who's the
value
king
to
or
society.
queen that she's the daughter of? Can't someone else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Okay.
Like I said,
Why,
I
though?
don't
Why
make the
am I
rules,
the only one that can
no
pull
matter
it
how
off?
much I wish I did.
Forget this. I'm not doing this.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Why? Why do I have to do it? Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? That's a bit bleak, but okay.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Well, I mean,
maybe some
okay.
people do. Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
That would be unfortunate. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
That sounds like a blatant lie. Can you tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Ah, okay. So we have a few options here. So we can talk to her. I think I'm just going to slay her. That sounds really evil, but I think it's the best way to do it.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Okay, let's make our way to the
Make your
cabin
way up
then.
the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
That's a tiny little
Warning.
cabin.
Before you go any further, she will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right?
Voice
She's a
of the
princess.
hero.
We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Huh. Proceed into the cabin. So is that like a voice inside my head, the voice of the hero? It seems a bit strange considering I already have the narrator in my head.
Entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay,
The
so we
blade
just want
is
to
your
take
implement.
the blade and go and
You'll
kill
need
her.
it if you want to do this right.
Okay, take the blade.
Take the blade from the table.
I'm just going to go for it.
It'd be
I'm
rather
not
difficult
going to hesitate.
slay
I'm
a
just going to go
princess
for
and
it.
Save the world without it.
Alright, into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
It sounded slightly
She sounds
ominous.
Dangerous.
Dangerous, that's
It's
the word.
almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I feel like talking to her is a bad idea if we're just going to kill her, so I'm just going to continue down the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
It's just one?
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
I'm gonna steal my nerves.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
See if we can finish this on our first playthrough. Shit for content, but fuck it. The game's called Slay the Princess.
Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Oh, I can kill you.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
It's a very good point.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
That's ominous.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
She... I don't know if I talk to the narrator. Okay, I see. If it's got the little 2-line thingies, I'm completely drawing a blank on what they're fucking called. Okay, so if they've got those, then it must be talking to her. If they don't, we must be talking to the narrator. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us?
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
I don't know if that's how it works.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Oh, like I said, steal my nerves. Slay the
Charge the
princess.
princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Already lost the battle? What do you mean?
She sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
Oh,
We shouldn't have hesitated. But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
I swear there's just a schedule. Okay, this is completely unrelated to the game. Last week when I was recording, it started hailing. I was recording a game called The Midnight Bus, which would have come out last week. This week I'm recording again. It's fucking hailing again. You can probably hear it in the background as I talk. Okay, so we're getting the crap kicked out of us by a princess. But what's with her hand? We look like a
on the basement floor.
monster.
The princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Okay, so if we didn't hesitate, maybe
Really the best you could do.
maybe we would have killed her.
Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's
Well,
left
no
of your
way we
life
die
out
that
of your
quickly.
lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is.
Oh,
Everything goes dark, and you die.
we did? Okay. Well, I'm assuming we just start the game again. Chapter 2? What? Doesn't just restart chapter 1?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Huh?
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
This is
You're here
the
to slay her.
same. This is the same.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so we know we've died. That helps. I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
I don't think it is, my dude.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows?
Voice of the
Nothing we can
broken.
do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
This is more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
It hasn't.
It did,
Or
and I'm
if
so
it has,
confused.
I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
But who are you? I don't get it. Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
Ah, the all-important voice of the narrator.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless.
Maybe if we don't hesitate this time.
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Eh?
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
Is he talking about, like, multiverse theory?
It's the latter. What do you think happened after you died?
Huh.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
How would she have done
If she
that?
ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end.
I wonder what happens if we
Because
do
she's
free
capable of
her.
ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
God, I feel like there is so much more to this game than I originally thought. Let's talk about this princess.
Just be quick about it.
She killed me last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
All she did last time around was beat me to death. How can someone like that end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
We're not. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending
God,
that
this
we're
guy's
capable of
whiny.
doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Thank you, hero.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
That sounds like a fun time. Oh. Who locked her in the basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
I feel like this is very much a time to complicate things. If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
See.
I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else
I
would
feel
you
like
be?
he's just trying to appeal to our better nature. Or our sense of self-importance.
Who cares if you think we're special? As far as I can tell, the only thing special about us is that we get to experience painfully dying all over again.
Ugh, God, that guy's so whiny. You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. The less you know about her, the better.
Okay.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Why is the whole world waiting for me? Fuck. It's...
A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
Okay, we've gone through this.
Cheating?
Why would she even bother? She didn't need to do anything like that last time. She caught us off guard last time. We'll be fine. Let's just keep our wits about us. At least one of you still has a shred of sense. Just make sure you listen to him and not that whiner. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
No, I don't think you do. Shut up, Broken.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
What about the mirror?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if
And
you
why
want to
is
do
this
right.
so changed?
Why do we feel so small?
We don't feel small. We are
Oh,
small.
shut up, Broken. You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future. Though, for what
Looks
it's
like
worth,
there's a mirror
if there
there.
were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like?
Huh, that's interesting.
He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
Oh, for God's sake. I care about whether I'm being lied to. There's a mirror.
As do I. And yeah, there is.
So what are we the voice of then? So if we're talking,
Why would I lie
the hero
about
is
something
replying
so
to
real?
us,
What good would
and
a
the
mirror
narrator is
even do
replying to
if
us.
you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done?
This whole cabin is different than last time.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
I do want to approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the
Okay,
cabin wall.
I don't understand. Are we
Hope you
like
know
a
how
fucking
ridiculous you
monster
look.
or something?
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are
Oh,
better
shut up, Broken.
unseen.
Right, we're gonna go take the
Take
blade.
from
This
the
time we're
altar.
just gonna push
It
straight
would be
through.
difficult to
No
persuade the
question, no
princess to save the
hesitation,
world without a weapon.
and slay the princess.
The door to the basement
What the
creaks
fuck?
open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below.
This looks more like a castle.
You almost feel at ease.
This is actually kind of nice.
First time I haven't heard him whine.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Oh,
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
it is a bit
Doesn't matter what
a
that
bit
little
strange.
voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue down the stairs, I suppose.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
temple, like,
Princess towers over you,
whoa.
almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long
Is it weird
hair
that I'm a bit
billows
turned
around
on by
her,
that?
and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you. It was
I don't
pointless
think
to
we're
resist
rushing her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he
Returned.
wants.
So she remembers us.
You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
No.
As if on command, the blade
Wait,
slips
what?
from your grasp.
That's not what I hit.
It clatters
I
uselessly
clicked
to the
on
floor.
Titan grip.
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence.
Is she some type of
I
goddess or
understand
something?
what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
I don't think I want to. No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
Fuck.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
How are we supposed to
The last
fight
time
this?
You couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The
She
last
has to be
time
some
we
type
met,
of goddess.
I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any idea.
I'm gonna remain silent.
Do you think holding shut your beak is enough to stop me from prying it open? Do you think your skull can save your thoughts from being seen?
Her eyes just went all black. That's creepy.
You're less broken than I thought. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
Maybe.
Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she
Oh
wants.
god, broken is
No objections
broken.
here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
She is powerful. I can't even click on any of the other things. I can only do pick up the blade.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
But I'm pretty sure this is exactly what the narrator said to not do.
We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and
What?
slit your throat.
What?
What?
You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves.
I don't want to
step
do that.
forward and end
I'd really
this.
prefer if we didn't do that. End this. Okay. We're gonna do it, aren't we?
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
I want to slay the princess.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
Oh, that's ruthless.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward,
fucking hell.
the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility.
I like how the little tip of the blade on the mouse is now red. It's a good
Then
little...
it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now,
She is powerful.
do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just
Jesus.
words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
It's an interesting way to word it. Punctured vessel. I'm gonna keep going and try and slay her.
You can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your
I feel like it's a
futility.
really bad idea to just submit to her will.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
No,
There's
she's...
a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
I feel like whoever wrote this knew that they were...
Well, that's demeaning, isn't it?
They knew what they were doing.
Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this.
Thank you,
At
hero.
least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Definitely not pledging myself to her.
Yes, though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding
yes.
defiance.
Now it feels like something's happening.
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover, your
We got
heart
it.
pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and
Oh, I don't
again,
like the fact that
dance,
she's smiling.
cold emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for...
Oh, shut up.
Shut up.
Okay.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen!
Oh,
You-
damn
Before
it,
you
I
can
skipped
strike
it.
the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest.
Oh, there, that's what she said. You heathen, you worm, you defiler. You don't know the consequences of your arrogance. Okay, let's continue.
Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact.
Okay. At least we stabbed her this time.
Broken, beyond pain, unable to
Right, a
even
few
see what
times.
she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess
What
has
did
been
we
nothing
do?
but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty. Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
She collapses to the floor.
Slay
Her
your
glassy
bitter.
eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together.
No, that's cute.
I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something.
Yeah, he
I
was
guess.
right. Then again, we don't know what we saved the world from.
Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark.
And
die.
you die. Chapter 3. There's more? I just got the trophy for killing her. Oh, what the fuck?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that?
Yeah, same, dude. Oh, broken is well and truly
He's
broken.
upset.
Thanks, hero.
What's he got to be upset about? He
Stubborn.
just killed a god.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was, and ever will be.
You're damn right we did. And you'll get over
I
it.
like the music.
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. You did get us killed.
Yeah, Stubborn's got a
Alright,
point.
enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a...
If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it?
Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly, you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different.
Yeah, this is all fucked up.
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen.
Okay.
You knew we'd be able to...
So how does reality get
restart like
distorted
this.
from us killing the princess?
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
It feels like I'm being pulled in 100 different directions. You'd better all listen to me when the time comes to make a choice.
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really gotten a say.
Oh, that's because you're a prick. Shut up, Broken.
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
We died. If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to her.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change.
I wonder what we're the voice
Second
of
she
then.
tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
If I don't slay her, if I just stay here or do anything else, and we hit this point of no return, then what happens?
Then what happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens. Yeah, but is there something after the end? How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there. If there even is a there, it doesn't matter because we're going to win.
That's the
Now,
spirit.
That's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
I don't want to turn around and leave. No matter what happens next, it seems like our answers are at the cabin. We might as well see this through.
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
I like that. End her.
That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things.
Oh, I'm just going to skip him from now on.
We need to be tough right now. You're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining. The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it.
I wonder what the princess is going to look like now.
In the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
If they're writhing nerves, what happens if we cut them?
That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge.
He's not going to mention the mirror again, is he?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't mention the mirror last time either. Why?
A mirror? There is no mirror. We've done this already. Try to keep up. The repetition is maddening. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say exactly?
He thinks we've lost it, that we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again.
I wonder why he can't see the mirror.
You take the blade from the pedestal. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It really
I wonder
is
what
just
it
like
is.
last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from...
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it.
Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent.
Smash it!
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
I feel like there's going to be unnecessary consequences if we smash it, so I'm going to wipe
Reach
it.
forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
You step forward.
We'll
into
wonder
the
what type of
darkness.
messed up steps we're going to lead to.
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both
This would be a really
unprotected and
interesting
trapped.
D&D campaign for
Once
somebody who
exposed
hasn't played the game before.
claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart?
I missed something. Princess lives here slaying her. Okay. A voice of bellowing rage roars up the stairs.
Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
Okay, so she's angry.
Why?
Why does she remember? Why does the
Why?
narrator not? And why is it that every time we die,
You've got to stop thinking about her like that.
we
Isn't
seem to get another
anyone
voice in our
good?
head?
She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
It doesn't matter what we are. She needs slaying. And we've got the means to do it, so let's get a move on.
If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
Okay. Let's see
You
what
make
she
your
looks
way to
like.
the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make
She
up
looks
this
like a
floor.
badass.
This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and
She
burned
looks like
bone.
something from Attack on Titan. That's fucking cool.
The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you
Okay, so all we
know
gotta do is
what
stab the
I'm
heart.
going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It drops to the
Gross.
ground. She pulls her
deglove her
red,
whole
glistening
fucking arm.
free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Ooh, she's angry.
And it's the punishment you all deserve.
Oh,
for what-
shut up.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
This is probably the most options I've got. I'm tempted to ask her a question. But at the start I said I'm not going to hesitate, so we're just going to go slay the princess.
Your heart free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow.
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory.
With a horrifying squelch, you are
What?
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever.
We were unwound.
I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
What? What the hell is that? What? What? What just... True to her word, you do not die by her hand. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
What was that?
Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
It's like it's mocking us.
I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel
Oh,
anxious?
you always feel anxious. The narrator is gone.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
I don't think we have a
Through the
choice.
mirror. We just need to
I'm
find
glad
the
we didn't
princess.
smash it. I feel like that would have been a horrible
I
idea.
don't want to look at us.
Approach the
I'm
mirror.
begging you, don't do this.
You don't get a say. The mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. Huh? Why is this like the final confrontation? You're at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
This feels like a ending. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
It's a strange answer. Solitary lights. What do you mean?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more.
What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me.
But what are you?
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
Okay. She was desecration. Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Good point. Dumb question. Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
So where the hell's the
Space
narrator
within
gone?
is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
I don't want to let her out of there. I think that's something I'm going to skip. Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
It's like the chicken and the egg. Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Screw it. Let her out of there.
I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
Huh. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept.
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
Wait. Pieces. They must... Oh my god. I'm just now realizing how fucking huge this game has to be. How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're gonna do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
I love the design. The art design of this is so incredible. Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Chapter 1: The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
And now we start it all over again. I feel like I could play this game for hours and hours and hours and still be nowhere near the end. Man, just the thought of how much content there is in this game is really just blowing my mind at the moment. So my assumption from the way this seems to work is each ending is a different piece of whatever entity is there. I wonder what happens if we leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Nope, not really. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
Ignore that annoying little voice, he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Huh. That's weird. I'm going to turn around again and leave
Really
again.
keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Yes, I know. I don't care. I quite like this one. Good. Maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them.
When I said everyone, I meant everyone. That's a pretty large group to just condemn to death over a single princess.
He's got a point.
And last I checked, you're part of everyone too. So if you think about it, walking up to that cabin and slaying her is really in your best interests as well. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Okay, maybe we can't leave. Or maybe we can. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
That's fine.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
Oh, does it?
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of
What's wrong with the
familiar
music?
wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your
What?
surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Why is there so many cabins?
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
This is unnerving
Wait.
as hell.
What's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
I don't think this has anything to do with irritating the
Disorder.
narrator.
You know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Fair enough. Okay, world ends, everyone dies. Cool. Chapter 2. The Stranger.
You're on a path.
Are these based on
in the
tarot
woods.
cards?
And
What is that? Is that a wall? Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin.
what are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
That makes no
If
sense.
he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Contrarian.
He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day.
It would be fun to ruin the
If by
narrator's
ruining my
day.
day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever? Then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off.
The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky.
The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
What happens if we stay in the woods forever? It would be funny. If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just staying here in the woods forever.
Oh, that's clever. A little boring, though.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
Boring. Can we really do that? Can we really just do nothing? No, you can't just do nothing. You have to do something. Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring, we're going to do nothing. Forever. Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me?
What's going on here? Everything's getting fuzzy.
What is that weird feeling?
Did we just find an ending?
Barely even here anymore. Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
The world around you is unwound, as physical matter replaced by a textured nothing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Memory returns. There is a distant rumbling, sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. You already know what dwells in the empty spaces. The hand's coming from me. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Confusion. Why are you here? I am unfinished. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. It is useless to us if it doesn't bring more gifts. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. A wagging finger. There is only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am your only salvation. Return to your distant path or face the consequences.
In the woods.
Okay. I'm just gonna go and kill her this time.
The blade is your implement.
Grab the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
We're not gonna hesitate this time. We're gonna go straight for the kill.
The door to the base. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it fool you.
Continue down the
You're
stairs.
still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs. She's so focused on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step
Steal her
forward,
nerves and
your grip
steps
on the blade
forward.
tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? So, you should just drop it.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Right. We're just gonna slay the
You
princess.
lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Here we go. Easy as that.
Oh,
So that's
This
what
is
happens
it,
if we don't
isn't it?
hesitate.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
I don't, considering how fucking powerful she was in the last
She
playthrough.
can't die. Yes. Even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
Now we know the
But it's
narrator
over,
doesn't know
isn't it?
everything.
She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
I'm just gonna go for it. Of course it is. She's dead.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't
This
today.
feels like too easy of an ending.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find
Nothing at all.
is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry.
Wait, what?
You'll be
Did we get
safe.
banished?
This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
I was kind of hoping I'd get a better ending for saving the world.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward.
Eternity.
This is what's best for
Everlasting
everyone.
loneliness.
Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
I don't know about that.
Psst. Hey, we're not just going to stay here forever, right?
Well, what can we do? Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy.
Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are?
I don't think we're happy. I want to see what happens if we escape. Okay, maybe I'm not happy. And I'm not just saying that because you're the last person I talked to.
Good, because I have an idea to get us out of here. Though you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
The
I can
blade?
hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out.
Kill
You
ourselves.
hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare.
It's an interesting choice. Wouldn't using the blade, kill us? Wouldn't we be dead?
How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to kill yourself would kill you, and you shouldn't do it. In a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive anymore? This place, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. It's just the same thing, constantly, forever. I know this is out there, but
He's got a point.
trust me, I know using the blade will
I'm pretty
work.
sure I know
That
which
little
one I
voice
would
didn't
prefer.
want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you to be happy.
I think I'm going to listen to the hero. You'd better be right about this. I'll be pretty upset if we die.
If we die, you can yell at me all you want. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good
I kind of
enough
just want to go
reward
in the
for
basement
saving
and see
world?
what's happened to
An
the princess.
eternity of bliss, you ingrate. Fine, whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the
I
blade,
wonder how long
you
it
stab
actually
yourself,
has been
and
then.
you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Well, at least everyone didn't die this time. The Spectre.
You're on a path in the woods.
But I killed myself. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
Thanks,
If he
narrator.
doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I think the hero might be right.
That's fine.
Voice of the
It wasn't
cold.
very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen, why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Wait, we already read this, didn't
Let's
we?
say for a moment that you died last time, which probably...
Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too.
Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not,
He sounds like a
I care
liar.
about you.
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything?
If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the prince.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we've been through all of this
We
before.
didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying.
Just stay focused, will you?
I like that. Okay, I want to see what the princess is doing now.
Warning. Before she will
Alright,
die,
we've heard
she
all of
won't be a
this.
problem.
Let's see what the cabin looks like. We've already killed her.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners.
It's definitely
You can
different.
hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
Okay, this whole cabin is different than last time.
Very different.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that
Okay,
big
so let's
and
just-
focus up.
He just says the same thing every time we say that. Alright, I think we'll just take the blade this time.
Take the blade from the table.
You didn't say anything about the
Because
mirror
there
on the
isn't a
wall.
mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body so we can be done with this.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
I'm still
Takes
curious
us a
about
second to
why
believe, and now it's gone.
we're like a
Let's not
monster or
spend much
something.
longer
Like some
worrying
type of
over it.
beast.
Clearly, it's not even important enough to be acknowledged.
Okay, let's go to the basement. Let's find the body of a princess.
The door to the basement groans open.
This looks more like a
revealing an old
mansion than a
banister of
cabin.
creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. The room below is silent. Nobody's here.
Silent like the grave.
As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body, lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
So she is dead.
Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your
What?
thought, the top of a head appears from underneath.
Is she a
the floor.
ghost?
Two
She's a ghost.
set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost!
Scooby-Doo, motherfucker.
Oh. Wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Killer. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
I can see
Princess drifts
why.
across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you.
Are we able to feel that?
Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin.
I guess we are.
So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
I feel... Oh, what did I do? I pressed the wrong button. I feel like I kind of want to talk to her. I'm going to wait and see how things play
I
out.
see you brought that annoying knife again.
Yes, but I wasn't expecting you to be back.
So, are you waiting for a chance to use it? Or are you here for something else?
Oh my god, there's a lot to explore. Oh my god, there's so much to explore. What the fuck? Okay. I'm gonna start at the start. See, this is exactly what I was trying to tell you about in the woods. This already happened. We killed her.
Yes, obviously things are strange right now. I think it's safe to say that you've seen something you shouldn't have seen. Whatever worlds you've hopped between, whatever versions of me you've met, none of that matters now. There's no changing what's already happened. But you have a job to finish. Finish how? We already did what you told us. And now she's a ghost. You haven't tried slaying her yet this time.
He's got a
though,
point.
have you? And then what? And then you'll have saved the world. I think he's asking about what happens after we save the world. If that's even still an option. What do you mean, after? You already know what we mean, don't you? So why don't you go ahead and tell us?
Maybe we get to find
You're
out
going
what
to
the
try and
narrator
look us
actually
away in the
is.
Timeless void again. Because I didn't much care for that. I'm not going to lock you anywhere. What an interesting choice of emphasis.
Oh, I think this is going to be the first time we've actually spoken to the princess. I killed you. What are you doing not being dead?
I don't feel very dead. But I guess I'm not dead. So you must have only mostly killed me.
How do we mostly kill someone?
Or maybe death is only mostly real, but it's also mostly not real. I'm not sure. I'm just the one these things have happened to. Not the one with all the answers. Or any of the answers.
You're not very helpful, are you?
But we're not a ghost. Unless
Yeah, we killed ourselves
are?
too.
Maybe that's why the mirror disappeared. We're actually dead. Death, at least as a form of permanence, is just a concept. And clearly it's not a very useful one anymore. Maybe we should throw it out entirely.
Well, yeah, nobody seems to be able to die in this bloody game.
I want you to talk to her. Death is not just a concept, it is an extremely real phenomenon. Don't let her distort your reality. Cold, hard facts exist. The truth exists. It has to.
Your body's right there, though. Your dead body.
The princess glances back at the bones lying on the floor.
It's just a body. Do you believe these bones? Or do you believe me? Because those bones aren't talking to you.
Everyone has really good points in this.
She's seeing things pragmatically. We should do the same. Reality is what's in front of us, not our preconceptions of what it should be. There doesn't need to be a static truth. There doesn't need to be objectivity.
Do you know why you came back?
How should I know? Why does anyone come back? Maybe I have unfinished business with you. Or maybe you have unfinished business with me. All I know is there's a hole in my chest, and not the big obvious one that you put there. There's something older and deeper. A nagging reminder that I'm not where I'm supposed to be.
Does she know she's a fragment of the entity? And where are you supposed to be?
Home.
Home. That's
And just
helpful.
where is home, I wonder?
I don't know where home is. I just know it isn't here. But I can feel it calling to me from someplace far away. Wherever I'm supposed to be, it's out there.
I don't think killing her is the right way to do it this time.
How specific. And how convenient for her. You see what she's doing, right? She's suggesting that the only way you can rid yourself of her would be to let her out, which, in case you haven't been listening, will spell the end of the entire world.
Oh, there's so much, okay. Is there any way I can help you get home? Do you need me to bury those bones?
No, those bones are just a body. They aren't me. Bury them, smash them. It won't do a thing. But you can help me. This place won't let me leave. At least, not alone. I've tried. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place, even the spaces between the walls.
I
But I
love
never found a
the
way out.
voice,
I
the audio in this game.
Right back here.
The way that it's like whoever did the voice for the woman, for the princess, has recorded it twice. Once as a whisper, once as a speaking voice. And I love that they've overlaid that. It's so well done.
Maybe we should just leave. If she can't get out on her own, then why do we have to do anything? We could probably walk out right now and everything would be fine.
I feel like that's a bit of a dick move.
Hasn't got out and can't get out are two very different things.
That'd be dull, anyway. It's more interesting if we make a choice.
I kind of
You
like the
can
voice
come
of the
out
cold.
please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride. After all, you owe me.
Now I don't really want to help her.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let
I
her
might
in,
do it.
there is very little anyone could do to stop her.
Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly.
Why is it that all these random voices we collect just seem to love the princess?
You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Oh, I think I will. What if I say no?
Then I won't hitch a ride.
Easy. Oh, that's a good question. You won't hitch a ride if I say no, or you can't hitch a ride?
I'm sure you'd like to know. It's a shame I won't tell you. But it'll be easier for both of us if you just let me in. And doesn't it sound nice?
The more I let her talk, the less I think it's a good idea.
Maybe for her, but it's crowded enough in here as is.
You won't have to feel guilty anymore. If you even do feel guilt.
It could be the best way to trap her for good. Doesn't seem like it would be very easy to end the world from inside someone else's body.
That is a very dangerous train of thought.
This would just be temporary, right? You'll leave once we're out of the cabin?
If I'm able to. But for all we know, that's not how it works. Maybe I'll wind up stuck with you for a long, long time.
The fourth long there set my teeth on edge. I don't know
You hear
why.
the way she said that? She knows more than she's letting on. Don't let her fool you into doing something you'll regret.
If I let you in, do I still get to be in control?
Sure, why not?
That doesn't sound very reassuring.
No, that didn't make it sound like... That made it sound like she has the
I can't believe
choice.
You're even entertaining her right now. I mean, just look at her. Do you think she has good intentions for her murderer's body? Of course she doesn't.
Before I agree to anything, we need to talk about what happens after you leave this place. I was told you'd end the world.
And what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
I think I gave it thought.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward is all that matters. Let's try not to let emotion get the better of it.
I kind of like this first one. Obviously, it was wrong of me to believe that. How could you have ended the world if all it took to kill you was a knife to the heart?
Don't underestimate your own capabilities. If you truly managed to slay her last time, that doesn't mean she wasn't a threat. It means you did something heroic. Threats come in all shapes and sizes. A misspoken word could bring about the end of everything just as much as a blade or even the mere existence of an idea.
The difference between our first playthrough and this playthrough just goes to show exactly how much he is really telling the truth.
You were chosen for this job for a reason.
That's right, Killer. I'm not a threat to anyone. And even if I was, I'm hardly a threat anymore, wouldn't you say?
The more I let her speak, the less I want to agree with this. Well, were you going to end the world?
I don't know. I just wanted to leave. I still just want to leave.
What are you going to do if I help you get out of here?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just fade away. Finally able to rest once I'm free from my unfinished business. Maybe I'll find someone to haunt. Maybe I'll haunt you.
That would be
It's
kind
a
of
tough
fair.
question, asking someone what she's going to do with her life.
Well, death.
The princess leans in close and pauses, the frigid air between you stale and unmoving.
Especially when that someone is dead.
She pulls back with a playful giggle.
I don't think most living people could answer that either. Does anyone actually know who they are or what they want?
You didn't answer my question. Do you want to end the world?
The only thing I've ever wanted was to leave this place. It's still the only thing I want.
You still didn't answer my question. Even if you don't want to end it, does letting you out of here mean the world is going to end?
It does.
Shut up, you.
We're not asking you. We've heard your whole speech already.
Multiple times now.
I really don't know. I'm not lying to you. I promise. The world doesn't matter. All I remember is that I'm supposed to be there, not here. I'm just supposed to be a part of it. It's home, I think. But what does it mean for anything to end? I ended, but I also didn't. I'm not so sure endings are real.
I think there's enough in this bloody game that it doesn't matter. After I killed you, this cabin, I want to say it teleported. It wasn't in the woods anymore. Time stopped meaning anything, and I had to kill myself to escape.
You poor thing. That must have been so frightening for you.
You know, after everything we've been through, it's nice to see someone finally sympathising with us.
His sympathy felt
Been an
fake.
ordeal, hasn't it? She doesn't mean it.
Yeah.
It serves you right.
Yeah,
I was
she's
pretty scared
not wrong.
too, when you stood there not saying a word with a knife clenched in your fist. But now you know how bad it hurts to get stabbed in the chest.
It sounds like you got exactly what you were owed.
Kind of want to go through all of this, but that's a lot. So I think I'm going to let her possess us. I want to see what happens. Okay, I've given it enough thought. Let's get you out of here.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours. There's a hunger in her gaze.
You're really trying to make it up to me, aren't you? Thanks for being a pal, killer. I mean it.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have to tell you?
See you soon.
I want to know what
She rushes
happens
forward and then she's gone.
when she meets the narrator.
Sharp chill
I also
spreads
want to
across
know
your
who the
body.
hell the
It
narrator
starts
is.
in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way down your limbs, your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul.
I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over?
Deal with it, hero.
I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You
Oh, that
collapse
doesn't
to the
sound good.
floor.
I think we may have
Everything
fucked up.
goes dark.
Come on, you. You've got to get up. I know everything feels heavy right now, but we still have to get out of here.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as...
So this is what it's like to be you, huh? Disembodied voice narrating your every move?
So,
It doesn't work like that for you?
clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have commented on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor. Are they also supposed to be you?
Shards of broken glass.
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass. I'm
It's okay. You can finish your thought.
a voice? I'm me is what I am.
Huh.
Who cares? what
That's
we are?
interesting.
We exist. That's all that matters.
You don't have to fight. We'll all be out of here soon.
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too.
I'm clearly the same thing you are.
They're not listening to me. Do they not listen to you either?
Welcome to my world, princess.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him.
You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different.
That sounded like deflecting. I
important.
want to know. Wait. Shards of broken glass. Shards of broken glass. What if... Okay, hang on. I have to... Shards of broken glass. What if the mirror is us? It's like the fragments of our soul. And each time we collect a piece, it's like collecting a piece of our soul and we're putting ourselves back together. I don't know why. But what if the entity is us and we're just another part of... Oh, okay. My brain hurts. I'm thinking too much.
So, you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there.
So,
Like
who the
shape
hell's the
of something
narrator
left
then?
behind. You're more of a memory than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage. The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
You don't have to let him get to you. You're better than that. You're starting to make
I
things
kind of
right.
like her.
This is infuriating. Just Whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
Oh, okay, I'm so confused about the shards of broken glass. I'm gonna leave the basement. I think the best thing we can do is
Legs, weary with the
get her
weight
out
of
of
the
here.
princess's spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
How does he
I
know
do.
that? How?
If she has a home to go back to, doesn't that mean that her leaving won't end the world? It doesn't mean that at all. It could mean that wherever her home is, it's outside of the world. Yeah, but it has to be somewhere, doesn't it? And if it's somewhere, then it's part of the world. I suppose it's all a matter of perspective. Where does the world end and something else begin? Does the destruction of one open a door to another? Or is it the same world reborn? Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your body continues its ascent up the stairs, staggering through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
He's right, you know.
Maybe the bossy one doesn't actually hate me. Maybe he even likes me. Or maybe he just knows that he's been in the wrong. Maybe he's trying to make amends too.
I somehow doubt all of that.
I'll have you know that I do hate you, and I will continue to hate you for as long as I am able. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate. And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
We can only make one option. Trudge forward.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging across the floorboards, growing heavier with each step.
We're so close. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If we get out of here, I won't even care that you murdered me anymore.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle, but you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will.
Why?
Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next.
Open the door.
Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it?
Shit.
The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. You collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see...
Oh, I think this is it.
Yes?
Nothing. He's gone, and so is everything else.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming.
I don't think we slayed him.
But what about us? Are we just stuck here in nowhere forever? Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore? Are we in some world that exists after the world ends, or on top of the other world but not in it, or have we never been part of the world?
I'm so confused by whatever he's talking about.
I've heard enough from these two. Let's see if I can pop out.
Pick up a passenger and take her to her destination. You feel a lightness in your chest as a pair of sunken eyes emerge from your body and stare up at you.
You actually freed me, didn't you? I'm outside. Thanks for giving me a second chance, Killer.
Don't mention it.
I kind of like this version of her.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
And there she goes. And we didn't even slay her. You don't get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You don't need to comfort him.
He's right, I suppose. It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. Whatever makes you happy.
I wonder if our reflection looks any different. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Bloat. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither? But your
Love the
commitment
artwork
now
in this
is
game.
final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Everything you say feels like a riddle. Can you give me a single straight answer?
I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between.
What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was.
It was a
I cannot tell you what desires I will
mind
hold
fuck
when
of a
I am
sentence.
changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
You know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
I feel like I'm not going to kill her at the end of this. Oh god, there's a lot to explore. When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Oh, so we can't go and accidentally get... Okay, got it. You've been kinder to me than anyone else I've ever met. Thank you.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
That's a good point. What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is vaporous. She is a dream for a life she could never have, but that longing has given her so much capacity for kindness. She will make for an understanding heart.
Are we building a person?
Do not mourn her. She will finally be able to hold what she never knew.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
I don't want to hurt you, but the more times I go back, the worse I fear things will be.
The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
If I am to be an ocean, you have given me enough to build a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. The task of finding my vessels is your burden to carry.
Okay, I'm ready to go back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Okay, in all honesty, this is probably one of my favorite games that I've played for this channel so far. I don't know how I've waited as long as I have to play it, considering a lot of things. I really, really want to do a part 2 for this game. If you guys would like to see that, let me know, because I absolutely will do it. To be honest, part of the reason that I'm enjoying this so much is because I get to flex my voice a little bit, and I enjoy that. It's always so much fun when I get to kind of play around with what I can do, and this is a really good game for it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.